Alright guys, so welcome to Words with Noodle, episode, I'm gonna say 10, let's hope it is 10, I don't know, it's always so long between each episode. So why am I here today? Well, I'm making this video today to talk about a couple of things. One thing is something personal, and the other thing is to talk a little bit about bullying, because my school that I work at is currently having an anti-bullying week. And, it's definitely something that I'm passionate about, and it's something I feel like I could add to with a video of my own, since I do have my own YouTube channel that I do make videos on once every several blue moons. But before we get to that part about the bullying, let's talk about something personal to me. And what really drove me to talk about this first part is that, well, I recently tried to get back in touch with somebody that I haven't talked to in years. And no, it's not one of my ex-girlfriends. It's definitely not. Someone that I was friends with. It was someone I was friends with in high school. And they asked who I was. I reminded them who I was. They blocked me right away. When they found out who I was. When they remembered who I was, they blocked me right away. So I did get very upset about that, and it really forced me to think about. Alright, so before I get into this part that I'm about to get into, I have to add something else in there. I'm filming this on a separate day because I forgot to add this in there to the video for the sake of. Well, I have to make sure I add this in there for the sake of chronology of events. I have to make sure I acknowledge the period of time between 2010 and 2012. Okay, because that's important to mention too. So, I get it. I sucked. I sucked for those 3 years. I sucked from that period of time from 2010 to 2012. I overlooked a lot of people, a lot of valuable people in my life because I was distracted by what wasn't best for me. I ignored a lot of advice coming from the world around me because I was focused on what wasn't best for me. And that's not that person's fault. That's my own fault. Because even that person tried to tell me it wasn't a great match, it wasn't a strong enough connection, and everybody around me was telling me the same thing, that it wasn't a strong enough connection, it wasn't a strong enough match. That's not that person's fault that I kept pushing it. It's my own fault. So I'm definitely not trashing that person. Okay? I'm trashing myself for not realizing it wasn't a strong connection. That person is not a bad person. It just wasn't the strongest match for me. It wasn't a strong enough match for me. So I'm definitely not trashing that person. I'm just simply acknowledging the fact that I sucked because I didn't know what was best for me, and I was not open-minded enough to realize what was best for me. So I overlooked a lot of people, a lot of valuable people. And I am going to mention that, these two people I'm about to mention are not the only two people. There are other people too, but these two people have stood out to me on that list of people that I've overlooked. So, I'm sorry, Justine, and I'm sorry, Bianca. I'm sorry. I know that sorry doesn't mean much. And I know but that sorry is really the best that I can do. Is the best that I can give, because I don't think I'll ever have a chance to show you anymore. If either of you were to give me a chance, I could definitely prove to you that I have turned my life around. I would love to have either one or both of you back in my life as connections. So I didn't mention the full name, I just mentioned the first names because I wasn't about to mention the whole name. So, I know. I truly have, when you have seen the lightness, when you have seen the light in the dark of someone, you can either say to yourself, well, why would I waste my time giving that a shot? Or you could say, well, I've seen the light in that person, so maybe I could give it a shot, take a leap of faith. and see if it's worth it to give that person a chance. If you do somehow see this or hear about it, I hope that you can see and feel the passion of a soul that truly has now seen and comprehended the light. And I really say that to everybody that I've lost, all strong connections that I've lost, not just you two. Anybody that I was good friends with that I lost because of that 3-year period of time, or from what I'm about to get into with the events of the summer of 2013. So, and even with this next part that I'm about to get into, I want to make sure that I make it clear that I'm not trashing that person either. I'm not trashing that person either. I'm just simply explaining. I'm simply just clearing my name. I need to clear my name. Because whatever I feel about that person, that's not something I'm getting into in this video, because it may not even be what you think or what it's implied to be. I'm just simply trying to clear my name on what happened, because I just can't take it anymore. I can't take it anymore of the world around me wanting nothing to do with me. As much as I have moved forward in my life, I really do have to make an effort to clear my name, because there are a lot of strong, valuable connections from my past that I really wish I had with me today. You know, what I've been given in my life since then has not been very much, and I understand why. I understand if I don't deserve something. I understand that. So I'm not trashing that person from 2010 to 2012, and I'm not trashing that person from 2013. I'm not trashing anyone. I'm not. Okay? Many years of time can do a lot for your psyche, and thinking about things and weighing things in and seeing things from broader perspectives. So with that having just been said, I am definitely not trashing anybody in this video. You can believe what you want of whether I'm telling the truth or not, but I'm not trashing anybody in this video. So now, right before I get into this next part, I know I've said that already, but this is actually the last part. The gist of what I'm about to get into is that yes, I had flaws. The gist of it all, because I know it's going to seem like it's going back and forth, but I'm about to get into. But look, I had flaws. I know I worried too much, and I know I was impatient, and I know that I messed up with those flaws. I would use a stronger word than messed up, but I don't want to curse in the video. It was already bad enough that I used the word sucked. Okay. So I messed up with those flaws. I know I did. I'm not trying to downplay. I'm not trying to sugarcoat it. I know I messed up with those flaws. I understand. Okay? The thing that I have to make clear in the next part, though, is that I did not say and I did not do certain things. Those certain things are separate from the flaws that I had. I'm simply talking about factual information. It was said that I said certain things and that I did certain things that I did not say, that I did not do. That's what I'm trying to clear up. I'm not trying to say that I did not have those flaws and I did not mess up with those flaws. That's a separate thing. I'm talking about the fact that particular things that were said that I did and said that did not happen. That's what I'm clearing up. I'm not changing the part where I had flaws and I messed up with those flaws. They're two separate things. And after all these years, I don't think that that's clear. I have to move on in my life either way, but as I move on in my life, I really do hope that I can make an effective attempt at clearing my name and setting things straight. It really forced me to think about the fact that, and you know, it's not pleasurable to have to bring this up, but ever since those events of the summer of 2013, I just really feel like a lot of people and a lot of the world around me has not wanted anything to do with me. You know, and I really want to I was thinking about making a Facebook status, but I really don't use Facebook. I really just don't. I really don't even know why I have my account up, honestly, to be honest with you. I really just want to use Messenger and that's it, but which I'm probably going to do pretty soon. So instead of doing it on a Facebook status, I figured I would try to clear my name by explaining here that I don't try to play off my current state of life, what I currently have going. I don't try to play off anything as if that stuff didn't happen. I don't try to make believe that that didn't happen. I don't try to blot that out of my memory. No. No, I know what happened. I know what I did. I know what I did wrong. Okay? I know what I did. I don't deny it. And I have no problem talking about it. I have no problem telling new people in my life about it because that is what I do. Any new connections I make at one point or another in these new friendships, I do mention that. It's not something I hide. I don't hide it at all. I know what happened. I know that I worried too much. I know that I had patience problems. I know that I had those flaws. And I know a lot of people watching this be like, oh, BS, BS. Okay, you can think that. Stop watching the video if you're going to think that. Don't even bother if you're going to think that I'm not being genuine. If you're one of those people that's going to think that I'm disingenuous no matter what I say, then don't even keep watching the video. Okay? Because if you're not going to watch this with an open and humble mind, then don't watch it. So I know that I had those flaws, but I also have to know, and I have to keep reminding myself so that I don't convince myself of this. I did something that I didn't. I also know what I did and what I didn't do. Okay? Now, I have always been someone that's a very straight up, straightforward, straight shooter with factual information. No matter what I've done wrong or what I've done right, I have always given the straight facts. Even if I was ashamed of something, I always tell the truth. I give the straight facts. Yes, I give my perceptions on the facts, but I start by listing the facts. I do not distort the facts with my perceptions. I do not mix the two together. Okay? I give facts. I say what actually happened, what I've actually done, what someone else actually did. That's how I've always been my entire life. I tell the factual truth. And then after that, I can give my perceptions on what happened, because that's how it should be done. You know? Just because I'm a psych major doesn't make me exceptionally good at that. It's something that everyone should be able to do. Give factual information. With that being said, I know I did not do certain things, and I know I did not say certain things. And I know I even made this point clear at the time, but I feel that I really have to make more of an effort to try to clear my name. So I don't try to hide that. And I'm not trying to go into detail on it. I'm really not. I'm not trying to go into any detail on particular people, on my feelings about those people, because I'm not. I'm just simply really making an effort to clear my name, and for people who don't want to ever give me a chance, to please give me a chance. Because you know what? Yes, I've made some new connections in my life. But you know what I would give to be able to have some of those older connections that I had that just can't compare to that I know were stronger than any connections I've ever had today. I would give a lot for that. I would give a lot to have that back. I really would. I really would. But another thing I can mention is that, I can provide proof of what I've done and what I haven't done for the most part, and what I've said and what I haven't said. I can provide proof of those things, I remember at the time I consented on the police tracing all my activity to find out if I actually did say those things, but the offer wasn't taken up. Why the offer wasn't taken up, I don't know. But I certainly did give my consent because I had nothing to worry about because I know I didn't say those things. But for some reason, the offer wasn't taken up. Okay. Well, the offer was there and it wasn't taken up. So that's all I can say with that. So I really wish and I really hope that I can be given a chance by people by people that I've lost in my life, the connections that I've lost in my life. I really do. Regardless, I have to move forward either way, but as I move forward in my life, I do hope to be given a chance by some older and stronger connections of my past. So, the last thing for me to mention in this first part of the video, and I'm sorry that I keep fading out here and there, just I would go into silence on certain parts, so that's why I had to keep fading out and cutting to another part. I apologize for that. Just sometimes it's not easy to talk about these things, so you know. Anyway, so the last thing for me to mention on this first part of the video is that I have not been a single person for the past 4 years for no reason. I've certainly had my opportunities. I've certainly been asked before to be someone, to be their partner. Look, I just know a lot better now of what I can, of what I should and shouldn't take on. Red flags. I do not any longer get into something where I would have to keep convincing myself that it's okay and looping myself around in a cycle of uncertainty, blah 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 blah, what I used to do in the past. So, and I can provide proof of each and every person that has been interested in me. I don't BS, I don't say anything that I can't back up. So for anyone that thinks that I'm full of BS on that, blah, 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 trust me, I can provide proof of it. Because a lot of stuff is over messaging, in addition to, direct phone calls, but I also had many text messages too and stuff. Proof that I have, maturely and humbly turned people down. But, so, and I hope that can be at least something that I can mention to show the world around me that I have indeed turned my life around. And I know if anybody who still just won't change their view, whatever, has gotten this far in the video already, then I don't even know why you're watching to this point in the video anyway, okay? It's hard for me to remain completely humble when I think about the one-sidedness of the world around me sometimes. But I also know that I'm going to have to really bust my butt, so to speak, to clear my name and to earn a chance at something amazing again. In the form of a friend or in the form of a relationship partner. So, so that's that part. Again, I'm sorry for the choppiness of the video, of the fading in and out, blah, blah, blah. Sorry it wasn't one sequential linear video. I apologize for that. Yeah. So I hope that was an effective attempt at me making a big statement on trying to clear my name. Nothing. My intentions with friends and with romantic partners has never been selfish intentions. I always want what will make for the best bond. I always want what will foster and prosper the bond. I'm not selfish. I don't want people to think that I'm selfish. I don't. Yeah, I know it sounds like I'm preaching to blah, blah, blah. Oh, why do you care, man? Why should you care about... Look, I could choose to not care and just say, oh, only my own feelings matter. But, what does that make you look like? And how does that make me feel to just care about my own feelings? I only care about the people that matter. I'm speaking out to the people that matter from my past, not to the people that don't matter, not to the people that would not be worthy additions to my life. Well, I use that word worthy, but I mean good additions that would help to grow my life, That's what I mean. I feel like there are a lot of valuable people sorry. I feel like that there were a lot of valuable people of my past that I wish that I had the chance to connect with again. So, and that's how I can end off this first part by saying that my intentions are not selfish when I have connections. They're not. I see connections around me and I see relationships around me where they're so involved and they make so much time for each other, and I say to myself, I wish I had that. I wish I had that. I've never had the chance to have that, where they're that involved, because it's not unreasonable to be that involved and make that much time for each other. It's not. Because I see it around me. I've seen it my whole life. I don't see it greatly often, because obviously that kind of quality doesn't come around every corner in the world, but I have seen it. And I wish that I was fortunate enough to have that. There was something else that I had to make sure I added in this video. I made a mistake when I said that I've never had that I've never had that much time and this and that I've never had that experience where the person has given me that much time. No, I did. The person from 2014 that I was with, yes. And I definitely give the credit to that person for that. The ending of the relationship did not have to do with that. It was not a matter of making time. And I cannot get into the ending of that relationship unless you private message me, because that's not something that that's not something that I'm about to talk about on a public video. And I'm not even entirely sure why that relationship ended or how, but I will give you the best explanation I can if you private message me. Anyway, so yes, that person did give me that much time, and it was really amazing to experience that. So rest assured that ending did not have anything to do with the amount of time that person was making the relationship. It was something different. So, yes. And I thank that person for giving me that experience, for allowing me to see and feel firsthand what it's like to have that in a relationship. And if I work on my flaws of worrying too much and being impatient, I think that I will eventually earn that. I hope. I have to keep searching spiritually and to keep in touch with God. I know I try not to bring religion into things, but it's something I have to mention, at least briefly, because that is where everything stems from for me. I just always try to find a way to talk about things without mentioning religion, because I always feel like that's the best way to reach out to people, to help convince people to start taking advice, and then eventually religion can become part of that. But yeah, well, right, little by little, yeah, but and then eventually the whole part of it, right? Yeah. So that's what it is. My intentions are never selfish. So that's the end of the first part. I know that took longer than it should have. I'm sorry, but so let's talk about bullying. Actually, also, if anybody does want to talk to me after that statement, PM me on YouTube. Well, I don't know if there even is PM option on YouTube anymore, but most people can find me on Facebook. I guess Instagram. But I do have Instagram. Yeah. Yeah, I guess Snapchat, but Facebook is usually the easiest way. Comment me to ask for my email if you want my email, whatever, maybe. Anyway, so let's talk a little about bullying then. So my school this week, we've been doing stuff on anti-bullying. We've watched a video on a kid named Alex who was bullied, and then he turned into this person that went around speaking about bullying, and even rapped and stuff like that. It was pretty cool. And bullying is a thing that is very it's very disheartening to say the least, and it's an emotional thing, and it's something that does happen more than it should in the world today. that we haven't come as far as we should have in that effort against it. And I have a kid that I work with now that I'm thankful to be working with because, he broke out into tears talking about experience after watching the video that we watched. He talked about some of his own experiences and broke out into tears during class during it. And, and I felt bad, but he also felt good to get it out. And, another classmate came up and hugged him to help give him solace while he was, in tears. So that was nice of that friend. And but I definitely sympathize with that, and but I'm really thankful to be there to help give him a friend as well, because before I came in it seemed like he was more or less lonely, and I feel like I'm able to provide friends to him, someone that can relate to him, some interest and just some mannerisms and some like personality traits and stuff like that kind of come from similar, personal growth background with that, It's nice for me, too, to be able to relate to somebody who understands kind of how I grew up and my personality and my little awkward stuff, my little quirks and whatever. It's nice to be able to relate to someone on that every once in a while, So, I am thankful that I get to sit with him a lot and able to help him out. And, and if I do get a new job somewhere else, I will always remember him, and, I'm thankful that I get to be with him. It's really cool. So, I can talk about the one experience I have with bullying. I really wasn't bullied, honestly, very much over my years. Just one time in high school. Since I was somebody that was just very well liked, I didn't have to deal with antagonism. I did not have to deal with people bothering me, really. I was somebody that was just very overall well liked. So, I was always a pretty well protected person, but like, the one time I was bullied in 9th grade by a guy named Dan, right? We had 2 Daniels in our grade, but one of them went by Dan. So, Dan, right? For whatever reason, Dan did not like me. I guess he just didn't like my personality. Whatever it was, I'm not sure. But, he would always say mean things to me, and we just had to sit next to each other during English class, first period. And honestly, I was just in such a good state of mind at that time in life that I just really was not about to let anybody get in the way of that. I really wasn't. And so I certainly wasn't going to allow him to get in the way of that. And I was always a pretty brave person, so the way I dealt with bullying was that I would just talk back to him. And I would talk back to him and tell him to lay off, not caring who was there or who wasn't there. I didn't care. I was a solo guy. Let's do this. So, and eventually he just stopped. Yeah, one time he shoved me in the hallway going from first to second period. Yeah, that happened. And then he kept walking really fast past me. And it's kind of funny. Like, why, it's almost like you're running away. Like, what are you doing? You shove me, then you run away as if you're afraid I'm going to fight back or something. Anyway, that was kind of funny. I just kind of, like, gave him this, like, I was like, what? Did he really just do that? He just shoved. Anyway, so I kept talking back and talking back and talking. And eventually he just stopped because I just wasn't giving him the satisfaction that he needed. I was not showing fear. I wasn't giving that result that he wanted to see. So he just stopped. And we really just got along fine for the rest of high school. Everything was fine. So, so my experience with bullying was a rather minor one, so it wasn't really that bad. And yeah, perhaps I was in over my head to be standing up to this guy who was 6 foot tall, and I was only 5 foot at the time, maybe even 4'11". He was a lot bigger than me. So yeah, maybe I was well in over my head to do that, but I still wasn't afraid. I've never been someone that's afraid to lose. I'm someone who always understands the possibility of losing, and I'm not afraid to lose. I'm not afraid of being overpowered. I'm not afraid of that. I'm not afraid to jump into the fire and just try. That's how I've always been. I've always been a very brave person. will stand up to anybody no matter what. And like I said, it also was because I just was not about to let anybody get in the way of the beginning of my journey. Because my life was going very well for me at that time, and I wasn't about to let that little obstacle get in the way. So, as an advice from me about bullying, I encourage you guys to stand up for yourselves. That's what I encourage. So that's a little bit, before having to get someone involved, whatever, stand up for yourself. Stand up for yourself. Don't be afraid to, even if it seems like you're going in over your head. Like it seems like you're going up against dangerous odds. I mean, yes, if they have other bullies with him, yeah, then you gotta get somebody for sure. But if it's just one person, then I think you can stand up for yourself before you have to get somebody. Because it teaches you bravery, it teaches you determination, fortitude, and it teaches you boldness. And again, if it's a gang of people, if it's 2 or more people, yes, you gotta get somebody, because the numbers game, that's dangerous. You can't just go into that alone, unless you have a friend to help you go into it, whatever, So, and if you really have exhausted those possibilities, then you should get somebody involved. Yeah, you gotta get somebody involved. If you really are somebody that really is very frail, I wasn't all that frail, whatever, but if you are someone that's really is very frail and the person is like very, enormous, whatever, if it really just seems like an insurmountable odd, then yeah, you gotta get somebody involved. Yes. But in most cases, I do feel like you can stick up for yourself, talk back. I'm not saying to fight, I'm just saying to use your words, use your mind, and I do believe that will help you in many cases. There are some bullies that will take it to the extreme, where if you're using your words and your mind, it's only going to egg them further. And, in that case, you may have to get someone involved, yes. You may have to get someone involved in that case. I do not encourage anybody to throw a first punch to begin a fight, to begin a physical fight. No, you should not. I only encourage self-defense if somebody is attacked. If you are attacked, I do encourage self-defense. That's what I encourage. I do not encourage you to instigate to be the beginner of something that happens. So that's what I advise. Sticking up for yourself, trying as hard as you can to stick up for yourself before you have to, get someone involved, and to use your words and your mind when you do it. To not use your fists. Only for self-defense. So I hope that my, and again, I'm still only 5'2", and at the time I was like 4'11" or 5 foot, whatever. So I hope that my experience has helped people, to see like, some little fish fry like me being so brave and bold, I do hope that helps, and I'm happy to talk with anybody about bullying. If you want to leave a comment, we can talk personally about it. I'm always happy to try to give advice about that, and I'm always happy to be of any help that I can give, and to help answer any questions you may have about anything that I've said or anything that I haven't said that you have questions on. Just let me know. So I hope that I've made an effective attempt at clearing my name with that big statement I made in the first part of the video, and I hope that I've given good advice about bullying in the second part of this episode of Words with Noodle. Man, I just cannot make a short video, can I? But I'm gonna edit this, hopefully get it down to under 15 minutes. Alright, guys, so just my current state of life, I'm trying to get a new job where I can get insurance benefits, so life is going to be stressful until I get that new position and I get a new apartment with more space in it and stuff. But I gotta keep going. I gotta keep up my faith. I gotta keep my fortitude. I gotta really keep trying and keep focusing and not wasting any time throughout each day. Utilizing every minute as best I can. I care about everybody. I care about the people that are in my life still and the people that have cut me out of their life, that don't want to give me a chance. I still care about those people too. I mean everybody. No one's excluded from that. No one's excluded from that. Okay? And I know that a lot of people are going to think I'm disingenuous no matter what. That's okay. That's okay. I can only do what I can only do. And I will do everything that I can do to get the best that I can get out of my life. Stay strong, stay faithful, and always, always believe.